From mysterious deep-sea locations to giant statues and temples, these are 21 surreal places to see in Japan, in collaboration with Wacky Universe.
21. Mount Fuji. We start with one of the most recognizable and popular landmarks not only in Japan, but in the world, Mount Fuji. You know it by that distinct shape and cap of snow. It ranks as the highest mountain in Japan and the 7th highest mountain found on an island, measuring to a height of 12,389 feet, or 3,776.24 meters tall. You probably noticed the shape and realized that, yep, that's a volcano. An active stratovolcano to be exact, with its last eruption taking place between 1707 and 1708. Japan groups it as one of the 3 holy mountains, with the other 2 being Mount Haku and Mount Tate. 20. Kawachi Fuji Garden. What's more surreal than walking through a tunnel of purple and pink flowers growing upside down? You can do just that at the famous Kawachi Fuji Garden. Located in the woods of Kitakyushu, this private garden peaks in the spring months of April and May, as well as during autumn. The garden features 2 tunnels that run about 100 meters long, all lined with wisteria trees that droop overhead. The petal colors range from purples, dark and light pinks, to even white, with 22 different types of wisteria, with more than 350 wisteria trees. 19. Tateyama Kurobe Alpine Route. One of the best things about a destination is when the journey is nearly as cool. And that's the case with the Tateyama Kurobe Alpine Route, the road tourists take as they make their way to a mountain or just pass through the area to get some nice views. The route passes through Nagano, Tateyama, Toyama, and Omachi, and spans 37 kilometers in length. Though it doesn't exactly count as the longest scenic route ever, it has proved a popular travel destination anyways. With vertical intervals of 1,975 meters, it might feel longer than 37 kilometers anyways. 18. Rokung. The name Rokung translates to mean Deer Garden Temple and was made the temple's official name. However, it is also known as Kinkakuji, which means Temple of the Golden Pavilion, a name more people know it as. This Zen Buddhist temple can be found in northern Kyoto. It resides over a large mirroring pond. At different points in history, the temple became subject to getting burned down, with the most recent rebuilding happening in 1955 after a fanatic monk had set fire to it. 17. Nanxun Temple. Before the late 19th century, the Nanxun Temple was located on Mount Koyasan, but the threat of destruction by anti-Buddhist officials forced it to be moved. By 1899, it would be relocated to Sasaguru, Fukuoka Prefecture. Its defining characteristic has to be that huge bronze statue of a reclining Buddha, the largest bronze statue in the world. The statue, better known as Nihanzo, which means Nirvana, measures to 41 meters long, weighs 300 tons, and reaches 11 meters high. 16. Lake Syama. You probably wouldn't be able to tell, but what you're looking at is an artificial lake found near western Tokyo and the Saitama Prefecture. Many bike riders take to the route along Lake Syama, a tranquil body of water surrounded by the reds and browns of the vegetation. It connects the Yamaguchi Reservoir, which serves as a big portion of Tokyo's supply of fresh water. 15. Yoyogi Park. This park was built and reopened in 1967, located in Shibuya, Tokyo. It may seem like a regular old park at first, but on a peaceful day, the slender, spaced-out trees make for a truly ethereal sight. It also has a lot of history to it, being the same place where the first successful powered aircraft took flight in 1910, before the park was even made. Nearby, sightseers can also visit the famous Meiji Shrine, which was dedicated to the spirits of Emperor Meiji and his wife. 14. Ritzer Garden. From the picture, you might think that Ritzer Garden is located in some remote forested hill somewhere, but really, it's in the middle of the city of Takamatsu, where loads of visitors flock to every year. The name Ritsurin translates to Chestnut Grove. The garden features hills and footpaths that lead to many bridges across the pond. If you need something else besides the outdoors, there's also a tea house you can lounge in, where you'll also get to experience the Sanuki Folk Craft Museum. 13. Komizuka. If you need something less extreme than Mount Fuji, then at least a place like Komazuka exists. During the summer, this volcanic hill gets covered in vibrant green grass. But for those planning to check out Komazuka, you should probably know that getting near the crater is prohibited because of the risk of volcanic activity, as well as the poison gases that might leak out of the hill. Yet people travel here all the time, mostly as a scenic stop, popular for taking pictures. 12. Shinjuku Gyoen National Garden. In 1772, Lord Naido of Suruga was given this piece of land by a shogun and would make a garden with this newly bequeathed land. The Shinjuku Gyoen National Garden, as it looks now, was completed by 1906, but had to be rebuilt after the air raids of 1945. A main attraction includes the cherry blossom area, where people gather during the height of cherry blossom season. More than 20,000 trees cover the garden. 11. Arashiyama Bamboo Grove. A step into the Arashiyama Bamboo Grove feels like a step into some fairy tale land. Tall green bamboo stalks shoot up from the forest ground, and you can see them all on a path that passes through the grove. You'll find the grove in western Kyoto, a major city, and also near the beloved Yoyogi Temple. When it's peak season, visitors will want to get to the grove earlier because the calm path tends to get really crowded from everyone trying to visit Arashiyama too. 10. Farm Tomita. The flower field at Farm Tomita includes rows and rows of lavender, gypsophila, poppy flowers, as well as many other colorful flowers. As a result, the farm appears like a field of rainbow. The traditional lavender field beside the rainbow field creates a sea of purple, which also includes about 4 different types of lavender. Since the fields lay rather flat on a plain, you can easily see the majestic Mount Tokachi. 9. Iekazura Bridge. West Iya Valley, one of Japan's 3 hidden valleys, is home to the Iekazura Bridge, a bridge that's made of vines. It makes for a scary path since a strictly vine bridge makes for also an unsteady structure. For its reclusive location, it makes sense that this place used to be a favorite hiding ground for criminals, shamed warriors, and people seeking refuge. According to legend, one of the bridges was created by the founder of Shingon Buddhism, Kobudaishi. 8. Mount Koya. The first to settle on Mount Koya was a monk in the year 819. Over time, it became the headquarters of the Koyasan Shingon sect of Japanese Buddhism. On the mountain, you'll find a plethora of notable locations, including the Okunoin mausoleum, as seen here, and the Kongobu-ji, a major Koyasan Shingon temple. Mount Koya has a long and deeply spiritual history, as well as a lot of picturesque views. Many people love coming here during the winter when the whole settlement gets covered in snow. 7. Ueno Park. In the Ueno district of Tokyo, we find Ueno Park, an enormously popular public park in the country's capital city, where some of the best sites for cherry blossom trees can be marveled at. The park takes in over 10 million visitors every year. Established back in 1873, the park now features nearly 9,000 trees. Major museums located at the park also help bring in the many visitors it does, like the Tokyo National Museum and the National Museum of Nature and Science. Not only does it attract humans, but a myriad of birds take to Ueno Park for their wintering ground. 6. Itsukushima Shrine. A most magical sight awaits anyone who comes across the Shinto shrine's floating gates along the island of Itsukushima's coast. The actual Itsukushima Shrine has been destroyed many times over the years, with a history that started in the 6th century. The shrine of the modern day was first designed and built in 1168. The gate on the bay is a favorite landmark, which only looks like it floats on the water during high tide. You'll have to wait until low tide to be able to walk to it without getting too wet. 5. The Yonaguni Monument. The sea near the coast of Yonaguni already rose to prominence as a favorite diving spot well before the discovery of the Yonaguni Monument. The mysterious geometrical landmark was discovered by the director of the area's tourism association, as he was trying to find a nice place to just watch hammerhead sharks swim by. The discovery was made in 1987, and since then, the pyramid-like structure has baffled historians as to how it got there. A collection of stone structures have been found here, with no one knowing where they came from. 4. Aoike. In one season, the blue pond, or Aoike in Hokkaido, might look more blue in the next season. And it also depends on the wind. Sometimes the pond may look like a flat mirror against the sky, while at other times, it may glow this iridescent blue. This man-made pond is located in Biei and was created so that the nearby town could be protected from harmful volcanic mud flow. It gets so blue sometimes that it almost doesn't even look real. To explain why it gets so vibrant, speculation says that the blue comes from the colloidal aluminum hydroxide. 3. The Kota Mountains. More volcanoes. Just south of the city of Aomori sits the volcanic mountain range known as the Kota Mountains that dates back to the Pleistocene era. The highest peak, Mount Odake, takes about 4 or so hours to climb. But one of the best things to see here can be experienced during the winters when the trees get submerged in snow, making strange standing shapes along the mountainside that look like figures rising from the mountains, bending and lifelike. You can also find high-altitude wetlands such as Tamo, Kanashi, and Surin Lake. 2. Fushimi Inari Shrine. Within this head shrine dedicated to the god Inari is also associated with 32,000 other sub-shrines scattered across the country. The Fushimi Inari Taisha, located in the Fushimi ward in Kyoto, was built at the base of a mountain. Its earliest structures dated back to the 8th century. In mythology, foxes, or kitsune, are considered messengers, and a handful of fox sculptures can be found all over Fushimi Inari. During the Japanese New Year, millions of people arrive to worship at this shrine. 1. Hitachi Seaside Park. While most people come here for the baby blue ice flower field that bloom on the Maharashi Hill throughout the year, one of the oddest yet most beautiful things you can see include a field of Basia scoparia, which turns a bright magenta during the autumn season and only gets redder as the climate gets colder. The Hitachi Seaside Park requires you to enter through the Hitachi-naka Nature Forest before you get to the flowered hills.
Check out the featured comment below, subscribe for more World and Earth, and I'll see you in the next video.